Good evening, everybody. This is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead, and tonight we're going to be unboxing our Greenworks lithium battery pole saw. So this is a Greenworks cordless pole saw. Comes with one 2 amp hour battery and a charger. So let me cut the box open and I'll get right back with you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to check out the battery and charger. Okay, so we got the battery out and it's got one of these buttons where you can test it. And it has 1 bar on it. So we're going to go ahead and get the battery and charger going. Okay, so I apologize if this section of the room is a little bit dark, but that one just tells me that we're on, and when that one turns green, I'll know we're charged. Okay, so one of the first things I noticed about this as I took what we have in my hand now is the grip end where the battery would go. And the first thing I noticed about this is that it doesn't have a shaft that runs through the shaft. Inside there, if I can get the focus, it actually just has a little set of contacts. And that makes sense with this being electric. So the contacts from here would fit into the contacts of this section here. And we'll grab that real quick. And there they are. And there's the contacts. So it's just going to contact from one to the next. And then each portion screws on to the next portion with these threads and these slip fit screw sections. Same thing with this extension here. This should be able to reach about 8 foot plus the height that I lifted, which should be sufficient for the amount of copacing and cropping that I have to do. What we're yet to determine is how well this is going to hold up here on my homestead, because I have several acres, many acres I should say, and we have lots of copacing to do. So we're going to find that out not today, but we'll show you in a later video. When you push the two pieces together, you just push it down until it hits this little nylon stop, and then you have this threaded connector which slides up onto the extension piece, and then you just twist it. There we go. And that's about as much as I'm going to be able to do with one hand because it's pretty snug so far. Okay, so we're actually looking at the motor head. So what you notice about this is that the motor is in the top of the saw versus being at the end like a traditional gas-powered saw would be. Comes with a little chain guard cover. This is an 8.5 inch. It should be big enough for most things I want to do. Or excuse me, it's an 8 inch. And if it's not, I do have a 10 inch one that I might try and see if it can handle it. And so that's what I thought was unique about this item, is that the drivetrain is actually in the front at the blade versus being down at the bottom and then having a shaft that delivers the power to the blade. The battery is not charged, but I went ahead and put it in the saw, which you have assembled now. And the reason I did that is because when I was handling this portion of the saw, it seemed to be a little bit top heavy. And so I wanted to find out what the balance was going to be like with the battery in it. The battery for this saw is extremely light. And when you pick this up, it seems it has more weight at the saw blade, which I think will actually be beneficial, because when you use a chainsaw, you let the saw do the work, the weight of the saw do the work. You don't try to push the chainsaw through the material. And with this being a chainsaw as well, with it having the weight up here at the top, I think it'll aid in just letting the saw do the work. I took the saw into another room in my house. I took it up to the atrium room in my house, and that's because that room has 12-foot ceilings, where this part of the house only has a 9-foot ceiling. And so I wanted to kind of move around and stretch the saw around and move it and see how it felt. Obviously I'm not going to know really until I'm able to cut with it, but the saw is definitely top heavy, and I think that will aid in cutting through whatever we're pruning with it. So tonight I just wanted to show you this new tool, and as a homesteader I'm really curious to find out how well these lithium battery tools, when it comes to exterior power equipment, how well they can hold up compared to some of the other products that I've had. Hey everybody, it's Matt with Low Cash Homestead. So far we are 22 minutes 28 seconds into our pruning. We basically got that cleared out. I can't drive through that without getting my face scratched up when I'm trying to cut the lawn. There's a stack of stuff. We're gonna have to do a little bit of maintenance. This is a new chain, new saw. They always stretch, so I have to go in and tighten that up a little bit. All right, we're gonna do a little battery test. Maybe. And so far we're at 2 bars from fully charged. So it looks like so far I've used about half of the battery. Speaking of, my CyberShot's gonna need a charge too. Hey everybody, Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. So we tightened the chain up on this. This works like any other saw. Has a little screw, but what I like is this unthreading knob right here, and that stays attached to the, at least in my experience here, that stays attached to the cover when you unscrew it. So we're gonna put a little bit more oil in it. We're gonna go back to work with it. I'm gonna be shooting the rest of this on the phone because the CyberShot is dead and I cannot find the little charger for the CyberShot. The version or model that I have it's a few years old. It's actually probably about 8 years old, and you can't charge the battery from USB. You actually have to have the battery charger. So we're gonna shoot the rest of this on my phone. We'll put it all together. This is Matt with Low Cash Homestead. We're gonna put some oil in it, and then we're gonna go back out at it. I did not charge the battery on the polesaw. I want to see how much actual usable time we're gonna get out of it. All right, everybody. So based on the stopwatch, I am 44 minutes, 38 seconds into this battery. And let's see how full it reads, if it does. I'm getting nothing on it, which would explain the stop and start, because lithium batteries do that. So I got most of today's pruning done in about 45 minutes on one charge. So that's the Greenworks 8-inch. We're using the Greenworks 8-inch G-Max 40-volt electric pole saw. So far, it's doing pretty good. This is Matt with the Low Cash Homestead. Thank you very much. Have a good day.